Good evening, Professor. My name is Anepsi Flores, and today my persuasive speech is going to be about why diabetics need to use insulin. Health is a big subject in my life, and especially with my family. I was brought up not to eat too much candy, not to eat too much grease, to walk around more, and to always watch what I eat. I always judged these warnings and thought, they're just being protective. They don't know me like that. But once I did grow up, I came to understand little by little why they would give me these warnings and why I was always being asked to grab a small vial from our fridge every day. I soon understood that those I love in my family suffer with diabetes, which would happen to be the first man I ever loved, my father and my grandmother. I would have never imagined that their health and life surrounded this small vial called insulin. If you had just been diagnosed with diabetes, you can start off with either type 1 or type 2. I know there is the fear of starting insulin, and you might hear a lot about what people have to say about it. You gain weight, you get scarring, and the constant reminder of having to administer the insulin every day. But from registered nurse L.W. Fink, he stated, often they've seen friends or family members go on insulin and then develop kidney failure, blindness, or heart problems. The truth is, kidney failure, blindness, and heart problems often result from diabetes, not from the insulin therapy. Which I also do completely agree with. Insulin is a vital liquid that will keep you alive in the long run. If you didn't want to start taking insulin due to those fears, you should at least know the facts of this devastating disease. The reason diabetics start taking insulin is because their pancreas isn't working anymore how it should. You cannot process the glucose, which is in the sugar within the body, once it is consumed. So the insulin helps with processing those sugars. As insulin is a necessity, checking your blood sugar levels is another part of your diabetes treatment plan, says Bialo, an MD. You would need to check if your blood sugar levels get too high or too low to know when and how much insulin to administer. Diabetes is also a progressive disease. There is no cure to it, but you can maintain it to keep yourself in check to prevent the lead of type 2. Many will also think that diabetes is just something that can affect adults. The hard truth is that there is many children who also suffer from this, or they can also be born with it. This is why, to keep kids' health from going downhill, insulin is their best friend. Thanks to advancing science, there are different ways that you can administer insulin to best fit your lifestyle. The classic way of using insulin would be the method of injecting it, using a needle and the vial as I am holding here. There are two different needle options to choose from. The normal syringe, which you would use to pump the insulin out of the vial, or you can use the pen that already has the insulin inside, so it makes your life a little easier. These two options were the way my father and my grandmother used it, and the most straightforward option as well. But if you are too sensitive to needles, there is the option to use an inhaler that is also made of insulin. This is the best option suited for people 18 and up and for those who want a fast-acting way of taking insulin. You may use it before eating or at any time you would need it. Younger people or those who are busy will also choose the option of having an insulin pump, which it is a tube that's connected to you, and you simply just put the machine that carries the insulin inside in your pocket or in a satchel that you may wear. Or if you don't like the constant reminder of having to put the insulin on a day-to-day basis, there is the option of using a port, which a port is a small machine that it contains the insulin and it sticks to any part of your body and is out of sight and out of mind for a couple days, only until the machine makes a small beep that reminds you to change out the port. With the knowledge of why you should start taking insulin, if you are starting off with diabetes, there are the risks of not taking it at all, or if you have been diagnosed with type 1 or type 2 for a while now. Without insulin, the body cannot process any glucose in the body. When blood glucose is too high for too long, the body starts breaking down fat at a rate that is much too fast, according to Elizabeth Snauffer from her insight of insulin usage. This effect on the body can be dangerous, leading to acidic blood becoming toxic for us. You can tell if you are suffering from this effect if you become weak, you get nauseous, or you will start to feel unconscious that can lead into a diabetic coma. This can be a traumatic experience because I have personally had to help one of my family members recover from going into comatose from being in a diabetic coma. Comatose is basically when you are awake but you are unconscious at the same time. Some more serious cases for extended non-usage of insulin would be ongoing blindness or brain damage, or for the end result, death itself. With experiencing what others have suffered throughout my life with dealing with a killer of a disease that I didn't even suffer from myself, it does give me the motivation to warn others to take care of themselves or to at least maintain their disease to prevent a gruesome and lonely death. This disease causes much heartache and mental drainage to those suffering and the families around them. Insulin really does impact a diabetic's life, one little vial at a time.